All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former East Carolina defensive tackle Jay Ross, and I have not talked to Jay in a long time, so great to catch up with him, get him on the show. Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Jay, I remember back in the day you weren't much of a talker, so we'll see how much you're talking these days. But on that note, you guys had such an eclectic mix on the defensive line of personalities. Scotty Robinson had the big smile and the big personality. Linville didn't really talk too much. CJ, he had the big smile. He talked a little bit, and then you seem like kind of Mr. Business, kind of just take care of business on the field, not do much talking. So, did I get that kind of right? That's the way I looked at it from the outside. Does that sound about right?
No, I mean you just had to be in the locker room with it,
Okay.
man. Like, I did a whole lot of talking, but um, pretty much on the field, man. We just kind of let our game do the talking for us. But I mean, we still talked some junk on the field as well, but it wasn't too much.
I talk to Greg Hudson every week and love hearing his stories about that team and the practices and stuff and how he do Jedi mind tricks. He told a great one where one day, I don't know if he was just bored or what, but he told Coach Rock that the defensive line was loafing around and that they needed to pick me up. And instead of Coach Rock saying, "What do you mean, Greg? Like, what's going on?" He immediately said, all right," and said he just started chewing you guys out, and Hud was over there laughing because you guys were doing fine. He was just messing around. But man, what do you remember about playing with Coach Hud and of course the late great Coach Rock and those days of practice?
Man, I love those guys. I still talk to Coach Hud every once in a while. Um, Coach Rock, God bless his soul, man. But Coach Rock, man, when I finally went to the NFL, this man would still call me every single day.
Man,
He'd call me every day after I get out of practice and be like, "Man, did you have a good day?" So I mean, he was probably my biggest cheerleader once I made it to the next level, man. So I appreciate them guys so much for everything they've done.
Jay, what did you kind of realize, or when did you realize that y'all had a pretty special defensive group? Because back to back championships, of course, and you know the way we looked at it is the defense kind of carried the way. We had Patrick Pinckney, who was winning a lot of games for us, and playmakers with Dwayne Harris, and of course Chris Johnson before that. But we counted every week on the defense being there. So, well, you know, what was it like being a part of that group, and when did you realize, hey, man, we're a pretty special group over here?
I think one of the biggest sayings, I can't remember exactly who it was. It may have been Coach Rock or either Coach Hud. Man, they just kept saying like, guys, don't read the newspapers. So just meaning keep your head down, keep grinding. Um, that's one thing I can say about us at ECU. Like we never let the outside noise like get in our way. I mean, obviously we know we were pretty good, but we didn't want to hear that from nobody. And I think the biggest thing that we did as far as the D line is we competed against each other. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that we'll come out and sit on the sidelines on the bench, and me and CJ or me and Limbo will look at each other, and we'll be like, "Man, how many tackles you got?" And he'll be like six, and I'd be like, "Man, I only got two. I got to pick it up." Or how many sacks you got? Like, man, I got one. Well, I got three. Like, we just used to compete with each other, man, and that actually used to just show in the results of games and just how hard we work.
That's awesome. Talking to Jay Ross today, former Pirate defensive lineman. Jay, from Wilmington, and you went to New Hanover. And when I first got started in radio, I was doing play-by-play basketball for Jacksonville High School, and that one of the games sent me to New Hanover. And I remember as a Redskins fan, I never saw him play, but Sonny Jurgensen was on the radio call, so I knew that name well, and seeing stuff about him, and I think Trot Nixon went there, and I just remember like it was pretty cool. You had a lot of history with that school. So what was it like playing there at New Hanover, Jay?
Exactly what you just said. A lot of history. Um, I'm not a history buff or anything, but it just makes you appreciate the guys that came before you, um, and just know that you don't want to let them down. Like you want to make them proud. and everything that you do. So, I mean, that's kind of what it was like for playing at New Hanover. And, we had Algie Crumpler from there as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a lot of greats that walked through the halls in New Hanover. Um, so, I mean, that just meant a lot.
And what were the we love rivalries, talking ECU and NC State, and then rivalries in conference with Southern Miss and Marshall back in the day. But how about with Hoggard and Laney and I guess Ashley was probably around when you were playing, right? They around yet? So what were the Wilmington rivalries like?
So, New Hanover and Laney has always been a rivalry, and also Hoggard's been in there. I think my whole time when I was in high school, we never got a chance to beat Hoggard. So
Mm,
that was always one of my goals. But um, Ashley was a fairly new school when I first got to high school. I think their first graduating class was maybe 2006
yeah,
or something like that. But I mean, they were not really talked about. I mean, they had a couple good players. From my era, they had Jaron James and Levin Neal.
yeah.
Levin ended up finishing up with us at ECU. But I mean, those were the two big time guys, and I think Jaron went to NC State at the time. So him and Levin both went to NC State together, and Levin ended up at ECU with us. But Ashley always had some talent, but they just were a fairly new team.
Yeah,
But
and then you mentioned Levin Neal transferring, I think from state, if I'm not mistaken. That reminds me of this was pre-transfer portal, but bringing in guys like Khalif Mitchell and Marcus Hands, and I can't remember the timeline. Jay, did you play with those guys as well?
oh yeah, they were all there.
Yeah,
Khalif in probably I want to say it was my sophomore year, and Marcus was there. I think Marcus Hands was already there before I got there.
yeah,
Yeah, but he was I think supposed to go to Carolina. Khalif was already at Carolina. Um, yeah, so I call it anybody that asks me nowadays. I just tell them like, look, I mean, we were so good because we just were a team full of misfits. Like everybody that was at ECU weren't supposed to be there, man. Like I had committed to Clemson to go to Clemson out of high school. I remember Doug Palmer. He committed to NC State. Jamar Bryant. He was
yeah.
supposed to go to Georgia. Marcus Hands, Carolina. Like we was just a group of misfits. Like it reminded me of the Cowboys.
That's awesome. And another one of those misfits. You said Jay earlier that I had to get to know you behind the scenes or in the locker room to really get to know y'all. One guy I did kind of get to know because he was downtown quite a bit while I was. That was Zach Slate. He was. How about Zach on the defensive end position?
Man, Slate, I hadn't seen him or talked to him in a while, man. I hope he's doing well, but Slate was like that surfer dude, man. If you look at him, he didn't look like a football player at all, but he'll get after it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talking to Jay Ross today here on Pirate Radio Live. How about your recruitment, Jay? How did that go, and how did you end up wearing the purple and gold?
Like I said, I Clemson was the first school to offer me. Um, I went to Clemson for a passing league camp, and my head coach at the time, John Fitz, he didn't want to leave me behind because I just was bugging him all week because I played defensive line, so it's a passing league 7-on-7, so I had no reason to be there. But I was like, Coach, I just want to go. Like, I want to be around the boys. Like, and I just bugged him every day I saw him. So he was like, all right, man, like, just get on the bus. He was like, I'll let you play some tight end or whatever like that. So I'm like, cool. I mean, just my mentality, man. You give me opportunity. That's all I need. So, I mean, he gave me opportunity to catch some passes and I ended up doing really well. And I guess Clemson saw a big guy that could run and they offered me on the spot. So I'll never forget that day. But I was one of the ones that I messed around in high school. Like, I didn't really take school seriously.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the grades to end up going there. And I just remember Coach Shank and coming down to my living room, and I think all my buddies were going to Catawba College at the time. So really, all I had was ECU and Catawba College. And Coach Shank came down, and he was in my living room, and he said, "Jay, now this is my last time coming down here." And he said, "Let me ask you a question." He said, "Do you want to ride a bus to every game, or do you want to fly?" And I was like, I want to fly. And he was like, do you want to have to buy your own equipment for games, or do you want it to be given to you? And I was like, I think I want it to be given to me. And he said, now this is my last time coming down here. I'm gonna give this scholarship to somebody else if you don't commit before I walk out this door. So I thought about it, and I was like, man. And I had already took my visit to Catawba. They didn't even put me in a hotel. Like I slept on somebody's couch, like a teammate's couch. So I was like, man, I don't want to go through this. So I ended up committing, and I ended up a Pirate.
There you go. And the rest is history. That's a great story. Appreciate you sharing that with us, Jay. Jay Ross joining us. You mentioned playing high school or playing tight end in that 7-on-7. Where did you play at high school? Did you do D line, O line, tight end? Did you play everywhere, or were you always on the D line?
I didn't play offense at all, man. I played defense end and defensive tackle.
Yeah,
But like I said, I guess they saw a big guy that could run,
yeah,
and they just figured they'd offer. I was so naive, man. I just remember um, me and Coach Fitz going to I think Tommy Bowden was the coach at the time, and us walking into his office, and he was actually on his phone. He was on a phone call, and he said, "Hey, I'll call you back. Like I got one of my newest recruits in the office." And I just remember looking at Coach Fitz and saying, like, "What's a recruit?" And he was like, "You know what they about to do, don't you?" And I was like, "Nah." And he said, "They about to offer you a scholarship." And I was like, "What's that?" So I didn't know nothing about nothing, man.
Man,
So
you're just out there playing ball.
that's it. I was having fun.
Yes, sir. Jay Ross joining us. Well, man, I tell you what, it worked out for us. Hopefully, it did for you. It sounds like it did. Your time at ECU, and a lot of great memories, back to back championships, Jay, and been talking about your teams a lot here lately because this is the first time since then East Carolina has had a shot for a conference championship. Pirates just one loss in conference play, need a little bit of help, and got to take care of their own business. But you win the one against Tulsa, where you guys forced 7 turnovers, I think was the number that day. So 6 or 7 turnovers, and then beating Case Keenum and Houston at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium. What do you remember about them championship games, Jay?
Honestly, I can't even tell you I remember much about it, man. I just remember Houston had that fast paced offense. So
Yeah.
I just remember me and CJ Wilson constantly looking at each other like with our eyeballs in the back of our head because we were so tired from running. They run that hurry up offense. But
one
um,
one of the craziest box scores ever, Jay. Let me pull it up. Case Keenum threw the ball. I think it was 70 something times. Let me. I'm gonna find it real quick. But
fast paced, it was crazy.
yeah, no doubt. And do you remember who got the game winning interception for you guys?
Uh, I can't remember. It probably was like Van Eskridge. I remember he was one of the main guys. Like he was always getting a end of the game interception. Like it was just his nature, man.
Well, you were right. Travis Simmons tipped it, and Van Eskridge got the pick. How about this, man? How about you being tired chasing the quarterback? Case Keenum, 56 of 75, threw the ball 75 times.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying, man.
yeah,
Hated playing.
jeez, that's a long day at the office right there for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, I got you on today because I saw you and Brandon Simmons in a picture, and we talked to Brandon quite a bit. He's still coaching in the state of North Carolina, so it was awesome to see you at a game and with former Pirates. But what are you up to these days, man?
So, and I got fussed out by some teammates like Dakota Marshall and all them that go to every single game, but I don't get back to Greenville too often. I know I come to the coaches camps every year because I coach high school football now. I actually coached the defensive line at Laney this year.
Okay.
Oldest son is there playing linebacker,
Wow. Cool.
and outside of that, I coach my baby boys Pop Warner team as well. So they play on Saturdays. So and I work Monday through Friday with the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office here. So I'm busy, 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 man. So I don't really get opportunity to get back as much as I would like. But we had a free weekend this weekend, and I was able to make the Memphis game, and it brought back so many memories, man. Like just hearing the purple go, like it was a great time, and me and Eric Graham, I ended up lining up on a 50 and doing like one pass rush drill against each other. But
Oh man, Big E.
it,
Okay,
I think the videos he posted it on the Pirate Facebook page or whatever. But
okay.
it was definitely a good time. I was able to bring my boys up there, my daughter, and a couple of his teammates, so they can actually just see how the college atmosphere is. I just want to inspire them to kind of work a little bit harder, have something to look forward to. Um, and that's all, man. But I do need to get back more. I need to start doing that whenever I got some free time. But whenever that be,
Sounds like you don't have a lot of free time. Sounds like a busy man, but
I
that's
don't.
awesome, man. That's awesome. And hey, well, maybe we'll see some other Rosses around
Yeah,
here one day. That'd be
yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh,
So your son, you said, is at Laney linebacker.
yeah, he plays middle linebacker. He'll be a
Awesome.
senior here. Like I said, I coach the D line for those guys, and just trying to get him to have the same type work ethic that I had to get to where he needs to be. Because he
Yes,
said he
sir.
wants to play football too, so I obviously know what that looks like, and I try to explain to him like, hey, you're gonna have to sacrifice some video game time and you know all that type stuff too, man. So I mean, he's getting to it, so he's getting better at it.
Good stuff, Jay. Man, great to have you on. Great to catch up with you, man. I appreciate it, and awesome. And look, yeah, anytime you're around, let us know. We'd love to get you in studio sometime. But keep up the good work off the field and on the practice field. Awesome to catch up with you, man. We appreciate you sharing your stories with us today, and we'll catch up with you again down the road, Jay.
All right, appreciate it.